Good morning and welcome to Love Island the morning after, the only official Love Island podcast. Joining me, Amy Hart, and the gorgeous Indiyah Polack for the whole week. This week we have the ultimate Love Island superfan, David Potts.
Yay!
I feel like I'm a bit short on energy this week.
Oh, well, I'll bring it.
Yes,
I'll bring it, don't worry.
David, how big of a Love Island fan are you?
I literally love Love Island so much. Like, I love, and then I just think like chucking everybody into a villa and just making them get with each other and challenges, and it's brilliant.
Does it remind you of your days as a holiday rep?
The games and stuff, I'm like, I used to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
You were
it's just,
the Maya Jama.
Yeah. And I look exactly like her as well.
You do. You've got the walk and everything.
Yeah, absolutely down to a T.
Now, to be part of this podcast, you have to promise 3 things. Number 1 is to be completely honest.
Okay.
Number 2 is to be opinionated. And number 3 is to be an oversharer. Do you promise to do those things?
I do.
Amazing. Let's go.
Indiyah, well, unfortunately, that means you are single. And you have been dumped from the island.
The biggest news from last night is, of course, lovely Indiyah was dumped from the island.
Oh, she was.
So hopefully she'll be with us at some point this week.
Yeah, we'll get to meet her.
Obviously, she was dumped because Tina picked Scott.
Yeah.
In the recoupling. Do we think that she made the right decision?
I think Tina was she didn't 100% know.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like she does really like Luca as well. Like, I feel like it's pretty obvious that she's got options there. She's like the it girl at the minute. Like, they all kind of want a bit of Tina, you know? I do really like her and Scott together. I find it very nostalgic. I feel like it's very like, is it series 2 that they were on?
Yeah, they were, yeah.
It's like a proper throwback.
Love Island All-Stars is for the nostalgia fans.
Yeah.
You know, you're hitting those markers.
Right.
It's like you're bringing us the nostalgic couples.
Yeah.
Do we think the nostalgia is going to work this time around with Scott and Tina? Because Indiyah and Scott also had a bit of nostalgia. They did mention that they were friends, and it still didn't work out between them.
Scott and Tina, they had a little bit of a connection, didn't they?
Yeah, but it was for about 10 minutes because then Katie
was like,
yeah.
Whereas they were literally just friends, and it was maybe like, are they just trying
Yeah.
to like push something that isn't really there?
They were looking for the spark
Yeah.
that sort of never came. Curtis did actually say that, didn't he?
Yeah.
They were looking for a spark that wasn't there. Do we think he was right?
I think he was right. And do you know what? I give it to Scott and Indiyah for trying, but I am a firm believer that if the spark isn't there within the first 5-10 minutes, it's not going to appear.
You know, don't you?
just not
Let's
gonna
be
happen.
honest. The second you look at someone, you know,
Yeah.
within the first 30 seconds of the conversation, you know, 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Do you know what with me? 5 seconds. I'll just look at you and I know.
When you know, you know.
Exactly.
And they didn't know.
They
and
didn't
it wasn't-
know.
It didn't happen.
Didn't have a clue.
Now, in the game, Indiyah gave Scott a card for being most calculated. Do you think that was right? Do you think he was right to be offended?
I think Scott's very sensitive. I feel like she didn't really have many options to choose from. And I feel like Indiyah's not that kind of girl where even if she kind of saw something about someone, she's not just going to bring it up for no reason.
Yeah.
So I feel like it wasn't that deep, but it kind of got dragged on and made on something that it really wasn't.
It was one of those things in Love Island that's like in a challenge, it's fun. She
Yeah.
had to pick someone. The feelings were quite fresh. And then like 30 minutes later in the episode, we're still talking about it.
Yeah.
And you're like, it was part of a game, it was part of a challenge.
Yeah.
Challenge kisses don't count. Challenge beef doesn't count.
Right.
Also.
Yeah. And I think in the moment, no one wants to be called calculated. And I feel like with Scott, he felt like throughout his whole journey with Indiyah, he was open and honest.
Yeah.
So for him, it probably just felt like, oh, I thought I was doing everything right. Clearly not.
Then he did say, didn't he, that he was retreating back into his shell like a tortoise or turtle. And then Indiyah said, it's funny that you're saying that as soon as someone new is coming in. We weren't sure there was a spark there between Indiyah and Scott. But at the same time, do we think the timelines sort of match up? Like he's suddenly like, oh, actually, I'm going to step back from you as soon as Tina comes in.
I don't think it's like that.
No.
I feel like when you saw Scott and Indiyah talking, it was kind of a bit point scoring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The conversation was like, well, this is how you made me feel. This is how, and then we went 45 minutes down the show and it was still, this is how you made me feel. And it was just kind of like, it wasn't that deep at all to begin with. And I just feel like we said before, he's been so open and honest with Indiyah about Tina coming in and that they did have a bit of a connection 32 years ago or whenever it was. And yeah, I don't think it was as bad as Indiyah made out.
Yeah, it wasn't as deep as it needed to be.
No.
But I do feel like there is no real connection between Indiyah and Scott. So when that's already not happening, it's easy for little things to turn into big things because the underlying issue is you just don't like each other that much.
Right.
Like,
You're just friends. Do you think their friendship can survive? Because they've been friends for 10 years.
Yeah.
They get on really well. Do you think that hopefully they'll still be friends when they get home?
I think so.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's good that they squashed it now rather than let anything happen. Because people do sometimes say, you know, if you start off as friends, maybe adding in that romance isn't the right thing to do. It can ruin a friendship. Yeah. So maybe it's good that they nip this in the bud early and they'll just stay platonic friends like they were before.
And they've only kissed, so it's fine.
Yeah.
And
Just a little pack.
Yeah, just a little
honestly,
pack.
it's
not going to be
villa.
cringy when they see each other.
No.
Like,
No. David.
Yes.
I know you've been tuning in.
I have.
You've been having a great time watching.
I have.
Who would you say that your favourite couple is at the moment?
I love so many of them, like, individually.
Yeah.
But do you know what? I love Elma and Ronnie.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are big Elma and Ronnie
Yeah, they
fans.
are good.
for the pod.
They are giving personality.
Yes.
And I know it's Love Island and it's about finding love, but for me, I love someone with a personality. And I feel like she's got such a great personality. He's a little wind-up merchant, which I also love. Like, I mean, like, inject the drama, obviously. So them two together, I just really enjoy their vibes. I do also really like Catherine and Naz. I'm like gunning for them two to like, but I'm not sure it's gonna.
No.
Yeah.
I think if it was going to have happened, it would have happened by now.
I'm still banking on the fact that it's not happening yet, though.
Yes.
It's because neither Catherine or Naz have had like bombshells or anyone that's tickled their fancies.
Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes you need like someone else to make you realise how much you like someone. So maybe they just need to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So who in the villa would you maybe say you could see yourself being besties with?
See, I love somebody who's down for a laugh, down for a prank.
Yeah.
Normally, I'm always drawn to the girlies, but I feel like I'd get on really well with Ronnie, and I feel like I'd have a proper laugh with him.
Yeah.
Him and Casey are absolute wind-up.
Yeah.
And together they make a formidable wind-up team.
Right.
And I love it.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, obviously, I love Ekin-Su as well. She's just on all the time. Like, she's just like this. She's ready. Anything that comes out of your mouth, she's thinking, I know what's going to happen next. I love a good goss as well. Maybe a bit of Ekin, but defo Ronnie, 100%.
Hey Love Island fans, it's that time of year again. Our favourite show is back. eBay is here as the headline sponsor for another fantastic series. And with returning favourite islanders, we're sure in for a wild ride. Shout out to eBay, bringing pre-love fashion straight to the villa. Fire pit fits to glam night vibes, this series islanders are proving pre-loved is always villa ready. For real, these looks are going to turn heads. Here's the best bit. It's now free to sell on eBay, so you can pass on your pre-love fits and find something new to you. From that going out dress to sharp shirts to statement co-ords, eBay's got your pre-love fashion down. So get ready for fire pit fun, fab fits, and Love Island mayhem ahead. Don't forget to shop villa-inspired pre-love looks. eBay, sponsors of Love Island. So at the end of the show, we saw that tonight we're going to have 2 new bombshells in. We've got Grace and Ron. So Grace, last summer, famously not obsessed with Joey Essex, even though he said it quite a few times that she was. And Ron was with Lana in Series 9. They were in the final together, but sadly no longer together.
Yeah.
We've said that we love Ronnie and Elma, and I like the fact that Grace is in because I feel like that is Ronnie marked safe for another bombshell entrance, because if him and Grace were going to get together, they would have done it last year. So he's marked safe for
Yeah,
Grace.
absolutely.
But who do you think they'll go for?
To my calculations and what I know of Grace and what
we
she's
all
made
know.
very clear, I do not think Olivia is safe, as I think Marcel is going to be right up Grace's street.
Okay.
But time will tell.
Yeah.
And we'll see. Maybe, you know, she'll explore all her options this time. She's a bombshell.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone's safe to be there because Grace is fine.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
she
she's
is.
She's a
stunning. And
fine
she's got a
lady.
feisty attitude
Yeah.
as well.
It's early days and no one's really closed off. I think all of the boys are going to be open and
100%.
free for pulling Grace for chats.
Maybe Scott.
Could you imagine?
Ooh,
I mean, they probably know each other. They're both big on like the Manchester scene.
Yeah.
So I'm
yeah,
sure
potentially.
another one of
Northern
Scott's friends
girlies.
to come in for him to try and build a spark with.
Yeah.
The thing is, because of the industry that everyone works in, obviously, and he especially, all the girls that live in Manchester, he will know a lot of
He
them.
will.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
He will.
So Ron,
Ron.
who do we think Ron's going to go for? He was with Lana last time. His head turned a few times, but in the end, he was always set on Lana.
He was, yeah.
Okay.
They're a bit of like a fairy tale.
So maybe he's got like a liking for the blondies.
Yeah, is that, would
Yeah.
you say blondes are Ron's type?
Like funny blondes. I think maybe Elma.
Maybe
Maybe
Elma, but do you
Elma.
know what I'd like to see? A bit of bombshell on bombshell action.
They might get together later on.
Yeah.
Maybe Gabby.
Gabby's a good shout.
I think there could be too much of an age difference between Gabby and Ron.
Casey's quite young, isn't
Yeah,
he?
but I don't think that's working either.
Absolutely right. That is absolutely not ever working.
I ship them.
You do? No, I think they're just two people that fancy
We'll talk
each other.
about it later, but I like Casey and Gabby together.
I just think they're two people that fancy each other. And I think after watching last night's episode, I think Gabby is also starting to see that, especially how Casey reacted in the challenge and like kissing Kaz next to him.
I think he's too much of a party boy
Yeah.
for Gabby. She's head screwed on. She doesn't really go out that much. She's the gym girly. She knows what she wants. She likes a mature guy.
But I like them together. They're funny.
They are funny.
I like
Cute
them.
love.
Talking of Casey, he rated Kaz in the game as the biggest game player. Do we agree?
I don't agree.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a
Why?
little bit. I feel like Kaz doesn't really know her place in the villa. And I think, I mean, I've never been in there. Obviously, you two have. But I can imagine if you're not really in a couple and you can see everybody kind of coupling up and getting lovey-dovey, I can imagine it feels quite isolating, even though you're obviously all friends and stuff, but you're in there to be in couples, you're in there to find love. And I can imagine that if you're not in that situation, it's a bit like awkward for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think she's a game player, but I feel like out of everybody, she's trying to cling on to certain things to kind of keep it in the game.
I mean, some people, not me, but some people might say that when she went for Casey at the beginning, that was maybe her trying to show herself as like a real like girl feminist, but maybe it didn't need to be the minute he walked in.
It was hell.
And I think maybe Casey saw that maybe and was like, you're trying to make a point. You're trying to make quite a big movement in here, which doesn't need to be made right at this second.
Yeah.
Which is kind of another thing that has been dragged on a couple of times, this whole situation that happened. But then last night, she then kissed him in the game.
Which for me, I was a little bit spun by because personally, I think Kaz made it very clear she was a girl's girl and that she wasn't keen on Casey because of how he treated her friend on the outside. So I feel like everyone in the villa didn't even know that was a thing. And she now brought that news into the villa. So I think I would have liked to see Kaz actually stand on business.
Period.
Obviously, she's blessed it with Casey, but I didn't see the need for her to kiss him.
Yeah, I mean, I can see from her point of view though, if she'd been like, I'm not kissing him, everyone would be like, it's not that deep.
It's
not
just a
that
game.
deep. It's
And then
just a
he
game.
would
It's
have
just a
dragged
game.
it on, like-
You didn't want to play the game. You're so above me and all that. Like, it would have just
Yeah,
rumbled on.
maybe.
And maybe it was her way of extending an olive branch with her tongue.
And that tongue was in there.
It was in there.
Do we also think potentially Casey could have rated Kaz as the biggest game player as maybe just like the easy way out? You know, that's the only person he's really like butted heads with in the villa so far.
Yeah, very true. And also she was next to him, so a lot less walking.
A lot less walking.
Literally.
talking.
There were so many points for him just to choose her for ease.
Yeah.
Speaking of Kaz, we also saw that she told Luca that they could be friends with benefits in the villa. Now, Amy, you've been in the villa, as have I.
Yeah.
Do you think that's realistic?
No, but I think it was a joke.
We're sharing a bed tonight, which would be nice.
Yeah,
Get a cuddle.
I would love to cuddle
Really?
you, Luca.
Yeah, good.
It can be like a friends with benefits.
Let's go. Woo!
Watching that clip, I think there was an awkward end to the conversation. He said, do you want to cuddle tonight? She said, I'd love to cuddle you, Luca. And there was sort of like a bit of a lull to end the conversation. I think she just said the first thing that came to her head, which was, we can be friends with benefits.
Oh, God.
And it might have been a joke. It might have been self-deprecating. If you say it first, she knows that Luca is interested in Tina. He's expressed interest in Gabby as well. And also said about Olivia's kiss as well, didn't he?
Yes.
If in a couple of days' time he says, well, no, me and Kaz are just friends, she said it first.
Yeah. So do you think it's a little bit of self-deprecation?
Self-preservation.
Okay.
Self-deprecation for self-preservation.
What do you think,
I'm
David?
so 50-50 on this, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like on the outside world, right, when you're getting to know someone, there'd also be nothing wrong with having fun with some other people as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's so early stages. But I feel like in the villa, you're putting yourself into a basket where it's kind of like, I'm just like a side piece.
Yes.
That's what she's done there. I don't think she wants that.
No.
I actually think out of all of them, Kaz is one of the ones that really wants to find true love in there. But I feel like she's just kind of putting herself into that basket because she doesn't feel 100% secure with someone.
Yeah, I mean, she's had quite a lot of knockbacks already when she's been in the villa. So yeah, like we say, self-preservation.
Yeah, I do agree with what you're saying, David. I do feel like out of everyone, Kaz is actually someone that has given it a really good go.
Yeah.
She's really making an effort to step out of her comfort zone, get to know everyone. So I feel like she's now in this position where she doesn't want to just shut everyone off.
Yeah.
She's gonna give it a go.
Yeah.
But I think I want her to be careful because I feel like if she spends the rest of her days just giving everyone a go and not creating clear boundaries about when she really likes someone, I don't want her to get taken for a ride.
I couldn't do the friends with benefits thing, Meg.
No, me neither.
I'm too sensitive.
Absolutely not.
It's a lot of effort for not much return.
I just don't think I've ever looked at one of my mates and thought, benefits. Do you know what I mean, though? Like, I've never thought benefits with that.
Do you know what I always say friends with benefits really is? It's just a failed talking stage.
Right.
It's like someone you fancied, but you don't really work out because it's just not boyfriend material, but you're still hot and I would have sex with you, but it's just never going to go any further than that. So it's like, I want you, but I can't have you, so this is all I can do with you anyway.
Yeah, but it's like, I'll just come round to mine, let's just chill, we'll have a laugh, we'll go out for the day together and then
have a little
benefits.
Yeah.
Like, what? I could not do that.
And then you're also going to be on dating apps and stuff. Weird. My friend did friends with benefits and she had like rules and it was like no cuddling, no
you
spooning.
have to.
Because you catch the feels. And I was
You
like,
have to.
And then she ended up going out with this bloke for like 2 years in the end. So there we go, failed friends with benefits.
I'm going to put a little scenario to you guys, okay? And this is from the villa, and this is why I think it's so unrealistic in the villa, right? We are coupled up. Me and you, Ames, are coupled up. Yeah. But we're sharing a bed every night.
Right.
Benefits, sharing a bed, but no real relation. And then I see you couple up with someone else or kiss someone else. I'm going to jump in that pool.
Yeah.
Hellish.
They're friends with benefits whilst they're in a bed together. But then if one of them couples up with someone else, is in like a romantic early stage with someone else, does the friends with benefits still? Do they meet outside on the daybed?
Yeah.
Right, this is what I mean. And just chill together all day and then...
Or, no, at night. Be like, I'll meet you out on the daybed.
Yeah.
For just like a little
Come in
10-minute
your
cuddle
bed.
and be like, oh, it's fine. We're just friends with benefits.
Oh
Don't
my
worry.
God. No.
I can't do it.
So many scenarios, so much stress.
Oh God, you know what? It's probably happened on the camera somewhere and I didn't know about it, to be fair. Like me in bed with Dammy and he's gone out to like cuddle somebody else. Like, who knows? Imagine.
How was the kiss?
Our kiss?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Do you want to take to it? You can have a peck.
And then we can have a proper kiss and then go upstairs.
You have to give me a cuddle first.
Go on then.
Okay.
Can we talk about Tina and Luca's kiss?
Do we
Because
have to?
I'm very confused. I thought it was a wind-up from him to start with, because when he was sort of planning it with Casey and Ronnie, and Luca was like, we're going to go on the sunbeds in front of like the viewing deck. There was literally like different price bands for tickets.
Yeah.
There's like the viewing deck, and then they got loads of other people to go and sit on the viewing deck. And then they were chatting, and then they did the kiss.
We can have a proper kiss. We can have a proper kiss.
No.
And then they did the behind the mouth kiss.
And I was like, is she trying to make Scott jealous? Is Luca got her on a wind-up? Like, the boys have egged him on and they're a bit bored and they're like, oh, go and give us a show. Like, I don't understand what the logistics were behind that. Please help me.
I also was very confused when I saw it. And I'm a little bit with you. I do feel like when we saw Luca chatting to the boys, he wasn't even sure. Because when Ronnie was like, oh yeah, do it in the middle. And then he was like, well, everyone's going to see. And they're like, just do it. We'll even help you move the beds together. I do feel like it was a little childish boy move, just trying to get a kiss and just trying to make a show of it. I just thought it was a little bit distasteful.
It was really weird. I just thought it was actually really weird because then Luca was like, well, what about Kaz? And Ronnie was like, oh, we can deal with that tomorrow. As if like this is a group collective. We will all sit down tomorrow with Kaz and discuss.
It's also not a joke.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a joke. Like, you're going to kiss someone. This is not a joke. It's not a drill. Like, what are you doing?
I just think Tina was just kind of also confused by the situation to the point where she actually looked really uncomfortable and then was like, I know you're just teasing with me now. And it's like, what is going on here between these two people? People have bought tickets. Elmer's sat there going, like, what is going on?
I really didn't understand the whole situation. And for Tina especially, I know she did kiss him. I still can't believe it's only her first night in the villa.
Thank you.
I felt like she came in about three days ago.
Yes.
I mean, to us, she came in on Friday. But do you know what I mean? It felt like a lot of time.
She was there from the beginning.
Yeah. She was there last series.
Yeah.
I can't believe that was her first night in the villa. Obviously, she'd ruffled a few feathers, coming in the daytime, taking the boys on dates. There was the whole Indiyah and Scott situation. There was the game. It's been a busy night for her. So to top it off with this public kissing show, like, if it wasn't wind up on the boys' part, I don't think she needed it.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
that's
think
what
she
I
needed
think.
it.
I think it had nothing to do with Tina. I feel like she wasn't even gagging for the kiss anyway. I feel like this was a wind up from the boys, and also Luca making it clear, like, look, my Love Island journey starts today. He wanted to kiss someone and just get some action. And Tina was...
She was there and she was ready.
Yeah.
She was so ready.
So ready.
I mean, last night we heard her say quite a few things and she's so ready for it.
She said, I'm really good at suck and blow. I said,
Yeah.
Tina.
Tina.
And then there's like Luca, Kaz and Tina all together in a bed.
I know.
Yeah.
Maybe like it's going to be like a
throuple.
throuple.
Oh, God.
It could be our
Change the rules,
first
change the rules.
ever Love Island throuple.
Do you think they'd do it on like a rotation? So it'd be like, oh, tonight's on like shared custody of Luca.
Yeah.
So like, let me just check the thing. Oh, I'm on the daybed and Tina's in
I
the
reckon
bed.
it'd be all three always.
All three always.
Yeah.
The bed's big enough.
I mean, I've never been in a throuple. Find it hard enough finding one person to find me attractive.
Shut up.
Self-deprecation for self-preservation.
No.
But I can imagine it is just a couple with one person that's slightly left out.
Literally.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, that's why I feel like I could never have like a threesome because I'd feel like really awkward to the point where I just like stood there in the corner. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I just feel really like
Yeah. I've heard a theory about threesomes, not for experience. So
from
it's out there.
experience,
For legal reasons.
People do say, like, if you're in a really strong situation, like you have to be very strong, that the third person is almost seen as like a fun prop.
A plaything.
Yeah, but like you guys are all having fun. It's so no one feels left out because
I don't want to be the prop.
If I was like,
I don't want to be a prop.
and that sounds so nasty.
I know.
But like, I can't relate, and I am too sensitive.
Far too sensitive.
I had a
Literally crying.
friend. Again, this is a friend. It's not me. It's not me.
I know a friend.
Nobody's ever going to ask me. I have a friend that was asked by quite a strong couple to be in a threesome with them. And she was like, but it's not going to be a threesome, is it? It's going to be a twosome and she's going to make the drinks.
Oh my! See, I love that confidence.
Yeah.
Very hard.
That word
Well,
prop has thrown me.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And that is
It
me
really leaves you
never
like-
ever having a threesome after hearing that someone's just a prop. I don't want to be that cactus.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, no.
Like this.
Well, hopefully Luca will choose between Tina and Kaz and we won't have to witness any of it.
No.
Luca did tell Maya in a joke that didn't go down well around the fire
Oh my
pit
God.
that she hadn't brought in enough girls for him. Maybe he was being sarcastic because he'd spoken to Tina.
It was
I think
sarcasm.
everything's a joke, clearly.
I
But
don't think he was being serious. I think he was trying to make a joke, but it was
Yeah.
like the least funny joke that could ever have been made to the
Yeah.
point where no one even laughed.
yeah.
It was also tone deaf considering that he just kissed Tina in the middle of the villa.
Right. Yeah.
And then just agreed to friends with benefits with Kaz. Also, Olivia reconfirming that Luca does not like you.
Oh my God, yes.
It was just all a bit like tone deaf and a bit like,
Like I said, I think he was just trying to make a joke in front of Maya and it just was not funny
No.
in any way, shape or form.
His eyes looked a little bit watery afterwards.
when you make a bad joke and no one laughs and now there's like this ring of awkward silence and you're just like,
Just put my head down and...
you can feel your ears getting hot and you're just like,
Stress rash.
Now, moving on to Ekin-Su. Now, David, I know that you love a bit of Ekin-Su.
I do.
We saw her in the villa kind of being like the villa therapist. You know, she was giving everyone a good chat, a bit of a prompt. You have so much to say about Ekin-Su, so I want you to just take it away.
Do you know what it is about Ekin-Su for me? I just think she is the perfect person to have in the villa.
Yeah.
Because she will let her guard down, she'll get with a boy, but she loves the stir. She loves it. And it's honestly like she is one of the producers in there.
Yeah.
Like the producer can just go on because Ekin-Su's there. Do you know what I mean? Like she's there and she's ready to tell you what, someone said this about you earlier. Like when she told Tina, Scott prefers Tina to Indiyah.
Yes.
I mean, it's just not necessary for that to be said. But thank God for someone like Ekin-Su in there who's going to give us a little bit of drama.
I mean, she worked on a Turkish soap opera she was on for years.
she's an actress.
Yeah, she's an actress.
Right, so I've got
she was
such a funny story about this. So obviously when we was in the house, Ekin-Su told us all that she used to be an actress.
Yeah.
And we actually said to her, like, how did it end? And she was like, she got killed off. So she got shot by someone. And she fully acted out as well how she got shot.
Yeah,
and she threw herself to the floor. And I was just like, she's a drama queen and I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah. So that's the thing. She's probably learned a lot of these storylines of going and telling people things and moving around and stuff from the soap. And we love it.
We love it.
Love it.
It's like living in Hollyoaks.
Yeah, literally.
We also saw Ekin debating with Olivia. She pulled her for a chat and she also explained that, you know what, it is possible to like more than one person. Because we did see Olivia starting to battle with her feelings about liking Luca and Marcel. What do we think about that? Is it possible to like more than one person?
Defo.
Yeah?
100%. You're a bunch of sexy singles who've been chucked into a villa. You've only been there a few days, really.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not been long.
Yeah.
And they're all fit. So the initial attraction's always going to be there. And I feel like, didn't Olivia and Luca know each other prior?
They're both from Brighton.
Well, that'll do it.
And
Brighton will do it.
one of Luca's friends had been texting Olivia before they went into the villa. And that was his only reservation.
Ah.
Bit awkward.
Do you think there's going to be a bit of a circle back between Olivia and Luca, though?
Like, she'll have to take a ticket.
Yeah. She'll have to get to the back of the queue.
Yeah, wait for the old meat counters in supermarkets. Have to wait for her number to be called. And
like
currently,
Costco.
she's behind Tina and Kaz.
Like, when is she going to get in that bed?
At least 3 days
And
to wait.
quite frankly, I do want a bit better for Olivia because I think Luca made it very clear that he wasn't interested.
I feel like you can't help it though, can
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
And I feel like in that environment, you're together all the time. If you're on the outside world, you won't be seeing each other
No.
24/7.
When Grace comes in tonight, she's going to have a lot of time to think. But do we think Marcel might be loyal to Olivia?
You know what? So far, so good. I feel like I really like the way their journey is going.
Yeah.
They seem really sweet. He seems like a really sweet man.
Yeah.
I don't know if she'll be loyal to him though.
Yeah.
No.
That's my thing. I feel like she was a bit gutted about the Luca situation.
She was really gutted.
So it was just kind of like, oh, well, Marcel's here. But like I said before, they're all sexy and they're all getting to know each other. So we're going to see the little connections
and to be
forming,
fair,
aren't we?
if Grace does come in and Marcel, ticks her boxes, Olivia's going to want to give it another go with Luca.
I do think, though, with Olivia, she's talked before about how guys aren't very nice to her. And, she's always gone for boys and now she wants a man and stuff. And now she's got this lovely Marcel who's really nice to her, but it's not what she knows.
It's
and
not
it's
what
all
she
new
knows.
to her.
Yeah.
So that might scare her a little bit. So she's suddenly like, oh, actually, I want to go back to the young boy that doesn't actually want me.
Right.
It's hard to get out of whatever you know, do you know what I mean? But hopefully she makes the right decision.
Right, we are going to have to wait till tonight's episode to find out how Scott and Tina get on and how much chaos our new bombshells are going to cause. David, how would you rate our pod so far?
I would rate it a 10. I love it.
So you will come back tomorrow?
Of course I will. Yes.
David, thank you so much for today.
Thank
It's been
you.
absolutely amazing.
I've loved it. I can't wait
really
for
good.
tomorrow.
And we'll be back tomorrow morning on YouTube, all of your podcast platforms and ITVX. So we'll see you tomorrow.
Oh.